Hey gang, welcome back to the compound. In this video, I'm going to be taking the Dino Strike Therizinosaurus from Zuru Toys and turning it into the hatchling version of the new one coming out by Mattel for Dominion. Now it is still early in the year at the time I'm filming this video, so I do not have access to the Mattel figure yet, but I am pumped to get my hands on it because that thing looks awesome. So in order for me to color match this, I'll have to turn to product images off the internet to get a general idea of what colors to use. So looking at some of these images, it appears that the underside and feet are some kind of greenish gray color. So I've got some apple barrel pewter gray on hand, and that has a slight greenish tint to it already, but I'm gonna mix in some phthalo green into that and shoot it through my airbrush. Now again, just going off of these images and trying to judge the best I can without having the figure in hand, it will be a challenge, but regardless if it's spot on or not, the goal really is to just make it sort of resemble the adult version and, just have some fun. So I'm just going to apply a few thin coats and build up that underside color until I think it looks pretty good, and then we'll move on and do the top part. So now with the underside done, I've got to try and figure out that darker color that they used, and to me it looks like it's sort of a dark blue, maybe with some brown highlights mixed in there. Kind of hard to tell. So what I'm going to do is take this Admiral Blue and mix in a little black to see if these two colors will work out. Again, just lightly going in and building up that top color and fading it into the gray underside. And I'll also hit the arms separately just to cut down on any overspray since it's such a small, tight little area. So I've got the body color done and the arms are popped back on and it's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to go and take some leather brown and lightly dry brush the raised areas all along the body to see if I can incorporate some brown highlights into it. The lighting on my workbench is making it hard for the camera to pick them up, but they are there ever so slightly. Now I'm going to grab some scarlet red and hold my breath and try to paint the eye socket area without shaking everywhere and making a giant mess all over his face. His eyes are so incredibly teeny tiny that it was impossible for me to get close enough with the camera in front of my face, so I had to do the eyes off camera, but I managed to get his eye painted with yellow ochre and a ridiculously small black pupil. I have no idea how I did that, but it worked. Now I'm going to take that same scarlet red I used on the eye and I'm going to dry brush the red highlights along the back of his head, neck, and all the way down to the tip of the tail. I'm not sure if the red paint goes all the way down on the Mattel figure, but just to be sure, I'll paint it anyway. That way it just kind of looks complete. For his mouth, I'm just going to go in and lightly hit it with my flesh tone mix, scarlet red and beige. I'm not even going to worry about trying my luck with those tiny teeth. I think they'll be okay once I throw a little flesh shade in there. Now I'm going to take that same greenish gray mix that I used at the beginning of the video and I'm going to add just a little drop of white to create a highlight color. And then I'll lightly dry brush some of the raised areas on the underside, and this will just add an extra little highlight detail to this guy. Now I'll jump down and paint the claws, and for that I'll first go in with some off-white and carefully cut those in. About 2 or 3 coats should do the trick. Now the adult figure has 2 white stripes running down each side of the neck, so I'll jump in with some white paint and a fine tip brush and lightly dot those white stripes in on both sides. Now I'm going to apply a shade wash to the claws, and for that I'll be turning to my secret weapon, Transparent Burnt Umber. I'll thin it down with just a little bit of water and lightly wash it over each claw. The last step will be to seal him up with some matte varnish, and this little guy is done. So I really wish I had the adult figure on hand to show them side by side, but we're just going to have to roll with it until it hits shelves this April. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you were inspired to get out there and make some hatchlings of your own. If you do, remember to tag me over on Instagram at the Jurassic Park Compound, because I always love to see what you guys can come up with. For more Jurassic related content, You know where to find me. Links will be in the description box below. You guys take care, and I'll see you around the compound.